This morning, concerns over the fragile deal between the United States and Iran after a new attack on a commercial vessel in the Strait of Hormuz. The attack pausing traffic and compromising efforts to restore shipping through the waterway. According to multiple news outlets, Iran's armed forces struck a container ship Thursday. The attack coming just hours after Iran threatened ships that were not following its approved route. A U.S. official telling NBC News the president has been clear that Iran cannot subvert the free flow of traffic in the strait. While hosting American farmers in the Rose Garden Thursday night, President Trump speaking on Iran, but not specifically addressing the attack.
They want to make a deal with us very badly, and we probably will. I think we will, but the strait is open.
The president adding he can turn Iran into a buyer for the heartland, despite Iranians' denials.
We're going to be taking some of their money and we'll spend it, and we're going to be buying wheat, soybeans, and corn.
At an event at the Nixon Library, Vice President J.D. Vance comparing the administration's work to end the war with Iran to Nixon's efforts to get the U.S. out of Vietnam.
It's not just that he got out of Vietnam, but that he got out of Vietnam from a position of strength.
The vice president also making headlines with observations on the Watergate scandal that resulted in Richard Nixon's resignation.
If Watergate happened tomorrow, it would be like a 12-hour news story. Like, the idea that it would have taken down a presidency is crazy.
Vance did not address the range of crimes that started with a 1972 break-in at Democratic Party headquarters and the cover-up that sent top administration officials to prison and forced Nixon from office at the urging of Republican senators. Vance went further to compare Nixon to President Trump.
If you look at the story of how the deep state took down Richard Nixon, it's not all that different from what the same groups of people, the same institutions tried to do to Donald Trump in the first Trump administration. There is a parallel.
Today, President Trump will focus some of his attention on the election season and the critical midterm races. He's scheduled to speak at the Faith and Freedom Coalition and an RNC reception as his party fights to maintain its control of Congress. Laura?
All right, Kelly O'Donnell. Thank you, Kelly.
Hey, thanks for watching. And don't forget, you can catch the Today Show every morning on NBC or take Today when you're on the go. Just follow the Today podcast on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you listen.